Hello, amazing ladies in business. It is Kylie here, and I am the host of the new podcast, HerStory, which is hosted by the Australian Ladies in Business Initiative. And I am super excited to be joined here today by the amazing Ashton McKenzie. Thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome. Thanks for the opportunity.
So let's get started. For anyone that's listening or watching, can you tell us a bit about yourself, Ashton? Like what you do, who you are, what your business is all about?
Yeah, so I'm a mum first and foremost, really. So then I've opened up a business called Inspired by Ash, and it's a digital marketing consultancy. I can do as much as you want me to do or as little as you want me to do. And it's all about, my passion following on from other people and learning about their businesses is really what inspires me. And if I can help inspire other people with what I do from the marketing perspective. I started as a classroom teacher. So I have sort of that teaching, nurturing, guiding background, and then went into my family business as a marketing manager. And that's kind of led me down to my track of where I am now, of starting my own marketing business and helping other businesses achieve their goals.
So what is, for the people that may not be totally aware, with digital marketing, it can encompass so many things like email, tech problems, social media, all of that stuff. So what do you encompass it all? Is there something you like specify in? Like what does your business do in regards to digital marketing?
Yeah. So like you said, it is a very, very broad area to focus in. The things I enjoy the most are doing Facebook ads for people. But again, doing Facebook ads, it encompasses copywriting. So from my teaching background, I draw on my knowledge of readings and writings, and I'm also an avid book reader. So writing things and writing persuasive copy and emotive copy is something that I really enjoy doing. Trying to engage people online and trying to stop that scroll. It's included in your Facebook ads, but that then can get transferred over to your content writing and social media of trying to write engaging copy. So it's probably the copywriting, finding the creatives that match, that are encompassed in the Facebook ads, but it's then transferred into other avenues of digital marketing. It's just the tech side of things changes. So writing copy for email marketing as well, it's a different tech side of things that you're not using Meta or Facebook and Instagram, but you're then using an email marketing system, but it's still content, copywriting, trying to engage an audience. Trying to find target markets is something else that I find a lot of small businesses are lacking or they're not sure of. They have this product and they are fascinated and they love it and they're just trying to put it out there, but they're not thinking about who is that product.
Wait. But Ashton, I built a business. People should just come.
Yes, exactly. But why would a 90-year-old grandpa over there want a soy candle, for example, just off
But
the
I
top?
built it. He should just want it. But I love that. I love that because target market, I'm not saying niche down to whatever you need, like tiny, but knowing who, you're right. Why does the 90-year-old man want a soy candle? And I think that's an awesome service to have offering out there, because I think as business owners, we just, either don't have a niche or we just throw a whole bunch of, mud to the wall and hope something sticks.
And that's what I find a lot of small business owners are getting very overwhelmed with their marketing because they're trying to cater for everyone. And they're like, I need to do a post about this or content about that, and I need to send emails out to all of these people. And then why aren't they buying? But what you're writing or what the content is that you're putting out doesn't engage with the people who are more likely to buy your products or your services. For example, an insurance industry or an insurance business that focus on housing insurance, they're putting up a post or something and trying to promote it to someone who owns boats and wants insurance for their boating business. Whereas I guess that's the change in digital marketing as well, that once upon a time you would put an ad in a newspaper and everyone would see it. And one or two of the people that you actually would get a customer from would read your article or in the paper, your ad. Whereas now with digital marketing, you can hone right in. So you're bound to get a lot more sales because you're focused in on the people that are more likely to buy from you.
And I like the fact that you also stop with the doom scrolling, because I know, like, getting someone's attention. So when I'm doing this, I'm a hypnotherapist, and I know that you can go into trance really quick, like 7 seconds of doom scrolling, you're in trance. So I think the fact that you offer that as well, to stop the doom scroll, because it's got to be, you're right, with your creative and your copy, it's got to be very eye-catching to want to stop that scroll, to then someone's like, okay, I want to go find out more about that product, or I want to purchase that service. Because if you don't stop the doom scroll, or you don't know how to do it, you're just getting caught up in the trance like noise of social media, really.
Yes. Yeah. So I guess a lot of my passion as well is doing the research behind the scenes as well, to then assist small business owners, because realistically, they don't have the time. They're so busy. Everyone's so busy working in their business that they can't work on their business. So that's where trying to outsource marketing or photography and all that sort of thing that's encompassed in your business. Like, you can't do your accounting fully by yourself. You go and get an expert. The same with marketing, is that I'm trained to do marketing, whereas I'm not trained as in your industry. You know your industry. So that's where I find it's really a partnership with the people that I work with and help, to try and get, your business, I know marketing. Let's mesh those two sort of things together and see how we can achieve your goals.
I think that's a good thing to just remember your genius zone. Like, there are people out there that are doing this for a business. Use them. Because as you said, we are all busy. And like, when I want to work with clients, as I said, hypnotherapy, I want to work with clients and do cool stuff with them. I don't want to have to worry if my books are balanced, or if I've marketed the right way to someone, if I can outsource that to someone else.
Yes.
I think that's awesome. So pretty much digital marketing, you're happy to take it on, mostly around target audience, like getting your foundation in marketing right.
Yes.
And then going on to send the right marketing message out there.
And a lot of the time, a lot of the businesses that I see and work with they're very similar. So it's trying to hone in on the individual businesses themselves and the individual person behind the business, to find what's their why, what makes them different to the person next door or their competitors. So the other side of things that I like doing is a competitor analysis, and we look at what the different businesses around you are doing and how we can put your business in the forefront of your audience's mind, because you're all trying to compete for the same people's attention. So what can we do that's different or aligned with your competitors that makes you stand out as the go-to person? What makes your target audience trust you more and resonate more with the other people as opposed to other businesses? It's about getting your offerings right. It's about making connections with those around you, building trust and authenticity.
I love it. That sounds awesome. So you said before you were working with your family's business, and now you've gone out and started your own business. So was there anything that why did you get started with your own business?
So my family business was in tourism, and COVID hit. Tourism got hit hard. We're a paddle boat business on the Murray River at Mildura. So we were also locked between the states. So Victoria had locked down, or New South Wales had locked down, and we're on the river. So we'd get locked down between both states. From that, we then had a flood recently. The Murray River was flooded, so we couldn't operate. And the income streams were just so, I couldn't keep working. And then I also have children, so I wanted to be able to work from home more to support them and be a present mother, as well as showing them that you need to follow your passions. You need to have something for yourself that, yes, I'm a mum, but I'm also a business person, and I like working and I like doing things that make me happy, and helping other people and other businesses, especially through their marketing, is something that makes me. Started my own business, able to work from home. I can help businesses anywhere. I'm starting mostly in Australia and working remotely, but I can also then extend that to helping people around the world with their marketing. So I'm not locked into anything per se.
Awesome. That sounds great. So what has been your biggest challenge? I know you mentioned some stuff before about the floods and the COVID. Has that been part of your biggest challenge, or has it been something different in this new business?
Biggest challenge is one, not following everyone else and finding my own feet. So I guess self-doubt was a big thing. Starting out, and I see all these other marketing agencies that are talking millions of dollars in budgets and ad spends, and that you need to niche down and you need to just do Facebook ads and focus on them. Trying to find my own groove when I've got all of these other marketing agencies popping in and saying, well, we charge this amount and we charge that. And I had a lot of small businesses and they didn't have the budgets and they can't afford what these big marketing firms are offering. And that's just wasn't me either. Coming from a family business that was a small business and worked their way up, I found where my passion lied was helping more of the smaller businesses, adapting my packages to the individual business needs. Especially recently with the economic downturn, I find that a lot of small businesses pushing aside their marketing, and that's sort of not the best thing to do, to try and stay in the foremind of your customers and clients and to just keep that interaction happening. So because of that, they can't afford to spend a lot on their marketing. So I've kind of reverted a lot of my business at the moment back to teaching them how to do it for themselves, teaching them some practical skills and giving it to them in bite-sized pieces, that it's avoiding that overwhelm of, I need to post this, I need to look up SEO, I need keywords, I don't know who my target market is, I need to do email marketing. So trying to make it specific for their individual business, make it affordable, and also make it that they can do it themselves without the overwhelm.
I think that's great that you've worked in as a family business, so then you can actually bring that experience in. And it's because you've got that experience. I've done a business. I know the importance of marketing. I know what we need to do, for what you said, it was a paddle steamer down at the Murray River. Like your marketing has got to then be strong, because not everyone might not want to go on a paddle steamer. So I think that's awesome that you have that beautiful experience that you can then bring in and go, well, look, guys, I'm not just, someone brand new and fresh. I've got experience to say, this is what works for your business. So I love that. What's been your biggest achievement so far?
Helping others achieve their goals is very powerful for me. And likewise for me personally, it's been an achievement of me to even do this in the first place, and pushing myself past that fear. So I guess my challenge and my achievements are balanced in that I had that fear. No one's going to want to come to me. No one's going to want my services. I'm not good enough. And pushing that aside. And I guess my biggest achievement as well is getting that ball rolling, pushing myself out of my comfort zone to even just talk to people and talk about marketing, because I'm passionate about it. I know about it, but how do I get someone to trust me? But again, it was a lot of sort of self-development. So the achievements are coming now from being able to see what I have assisted other people do get implemented into their business. And even now they're still emailing me or messaging me saying, oh my God, I've got another 10 followers today, and I wouldn't have done that if I hadn't have posted this, or my post has got this amount of engagement. Thank you so much. So that's sort of reaping the rewards, but also seeing them say, like, I've made 2 sales this week, which for them is phenomenal because they hadn't had any sales before and they've just changed a couple of things. I'm like, okay, well, let's get this ball rolling. These are a couple of changes you've made now. Let's keep working on this. So that's essentially for some of the customers that have only had a 1 or 2 hour session with me, but they've gone and they've done the work themselves. They just needed sort of that guidance or the belief in themselves as well, which I think comes from my background as well as being a classroom teacher, trying to inspire others, which is why I chose the name Inspired by Ash, because I want to inspire others to be able to make their dreams come true and get their achievements happening.
That's beautiful. And I think seeing people achieve and inspiring them to achieve is awesome. But also the mention of how you said you've had to overcome your own self-doubt and the fear of, putting yourself out there. And I know I was doing some recent work with imposter syndrome, and they say that there's like this high percentage of like up to 60 or 70% of women that don't even start a business. They don't even start it because imposter syndrome it consumes them, or they can't make that step forward. They can't come past that fear. So even just starting a business is such an achievement in itself, which I think we tend to forget, because you are putting yourself out there, whether it's a product you love, a service, you're putting yourself and you're, changing your life to do that. It's such a big achievement in itself. So is there any advice you wish you had been given when you started your business?
Even just having a business plan, business guide. I'm all over marketing strategies and marketing plans, and I knew how I wanted to market my business, but even just getting the other foundations together first of ABNs, accounting, how to pay sole traders, like pay myself a wage, how to put a business together. I'm fine. I was fine with launching, fine with all that sort of thing. But I guess it's all of those other services that I need to outsource myself that I tried to do myself as well. And just to lean on those around you that are supporting you, because it can be hard, it can be lonely. But if you have support around you and people to network with and feed off of, that's just so beneficial. Having people in your corner supporting you, not being afraid to change your business model from what you thought you wanted to do initially to going with where your clients are leading you, or what sort of, don't be set in stone, I guess. Be flexible, work with what's working for your business, and leverage and step up. So you might start small, you might gain a couple of followers, and then it starts a snowball effect. And I'm just getting to that snowball effect now, and it's liberating.
It's awesome. I think flexibility is so important as well, because sometimes things do change, whether, you start attracting more of a different ideal client and you decide you want to play with them more, or to do those things. And, some things, services drop off, services come to be. So I think the flexibility is really important, because we do tend to get stuck in a box and go, but I want it this way, and this is how it's going to be. And the other point you brought up is about network. So I'm a big believer in network. It's why I started Australian Ladies in Business Initiative. It was all just from the perspective of a lonely mum that wanted to see if anyone else there was like flying a business flag. And it grew from there. And in doing that, I've been able to start this podcast, meet you for the first time jumping on, be able to launch the ALIBI Awards. That's now a nationwide awards program. So having your network is so truly important, because there's people out there that want to answer questions, that want to give you advice, that want to stop you from, before you do something that might not be the best. They'll help you with your branding colors or marketing or anything that you need to help you go forward, because everyone wants fundamentally to see people succeed. Yes. So I think you brought up two really good pieces of advice there, that, if we're not supposed to know all the answers. There's people out there that will help you if you just ask.
The other one I'd really like to add is don't be afraid to say no as well.
Yes, that's a good one.
That's what I learned the hard way as well, that there might be people that come into your lives, whether they're clients, service-based, or they're those people that might buy products that become difficult. Don't be afraid to say no to people that aren't aligned with you and your values and your morals. So if you aren't, especially in what I find in my business and with marketing, is that I really need to be passionate about the person and the products or the services they offer. And there needs to be a connection, because I'm working with them for their business and they've got to work with me to teach them their business. So it's a very collaborative space, not so much a set and forget, you just do it. I'm very much about assisting and working together, as opposed to sort of a disjointment of trying to think of my right words there, but you need to say no if something isn't working for you or working for you with a client as well. There's power in that, and it's also a way to help save face and save your own mental health as well.
You can sack a client. Yes, I've heard that, and I think that's important to remember too. Just because you're worried about the sale or what could happen, if it's not in alignment, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
And there could be, if the client's not going to listen to the instructions, are you going to keep whacking your head up against a wall, or are you going to go, it's not working, maybe it's best to work with someone else? Yeah. So I think that's super important. What's your if you want to share, of course, but what's your ultimate goal for your business? Like the big, hairy, scary goal that we don't really talk about?
Financial security. I guess at the end of the day, rates are rising. I've got a mortgage, 3 kids. So we're at the point of how much time can I spend on my business and in my business as well, of at the moment, until I get a steady influx and make my business support itself as well, I'm relying heavily on my partner and his wage. So financial security, financial freedom, it's there. It's a long-term goal. It's achievable, but it's still something that I'm working towards. And I know a lot of small business owners are also probably in the same situation, especially if they're starting up or starting out or within the first 2 years. And that's when primarily a lot of businesses fold, is in the first 2 years, but it's because they just can't afford to keep going, or they can't get that momentum happening. Life happens as well. Things change, priorities change, and that's okay. But yeah, for me, it's establishing my business in a way that I can support my family as well.
It's such a beautiful goal. And I think it's one, when we talk about big, hairy, scary goals, people tend to go, I want like a mansion or things like that. And fundamentally, like, you started your business for that financial security, or to spend more time with the kids, or to not be, forcing your partner out to work and stuff. So I think that's such a beautiful goal that we need to realize that is achievable and it will come. It's just a bit messy at the moment. It's just a little bit messy. All right. So if you could give, now I know we talked about amazing advice that you wish you had before you started, but is there any advice you would give someone if they rocked up and went, okay, Ashton, I need advice. Like, I'm starting a business. What do I do?
Starting a business, get your plans into gear, have an overarching plan and set achievable goals. Everyone always talks about those SMART goals. So yeah. Choosing SMART goals, achievable goals, have a plan, work towards it. Don't be afraid if things go wrong. Just rework it, rethink it. When it comes to digital marketing, or marketing in particular as well, and marketing your business, follow your passion. Go with what, again, the word aligns comes to my mind, of go with what aligns with you and what you're passionate about, because you will put more of it in and you'll be more motivated if it's something that you are passionate about and loving, as opposed to trying to push something that you're not wanting to do, or anything that is not aligned with what you want to achieve and what you want in life. So life's short, live it sort of comes to mind as well. So you need to be working on your business, not for your business, sort of thing, and trying to get yourself out of there as much as you can so that you can spend time with family, which means doing that hard thing of letting go of certain things. So outsourcing marketing, even though your business is your baby and it's hard to let go of certain things to certain people as well. And I know I'm like that myself, a bit of a control freak when it comes to things, but I've had to learn that, like, that's not my area of expertise. I need to let go and I need help. So not being afraid to admit that you need help, and reaching out again to your network and your community to say, what am I doing? And not being afraid to say, what am I doing wrong as well? Or what's working? What am I doing right here? Because all of a sudden this happened. So there's a lot to do with digital marketing, as you mentioned. So trying to even break everything down again to the SMART achievable goals, break it down, take a step back and remove yourself from in your business and take an outsider's perspective as well to see what's working, what's not working, what you might need to change, what different ways you need to market, where your audience is. And yeah, don't be afraid to step back for a second and have a breath.
I think that's important too. Sometimes we can't, even though we have the best intention to step back, we can't because we're so obsessed with our business. And this is why, as you mentioned, either reaching out to someone who rocks it or even just using your community is so important, because they'll give you honest feedback. And then they'll give you what it is. Because sometimes you're so in your business or you're so in a project, you get what I like to call like project blindness. You miss all the detail bits because your brain's just gone, no, this is what's working and there's no issues here. So reaching out to marketing experts such as yourself, community bits, just popping it in our Facebook group and going, hey, where does this suck? And people will give you that feedback because, as you said, they will see it from a different perspective. They will look at it from not being so involved in the business. So I think that's great advice. So thank you. Is there any, now going back to digital marketing, because we know it's heaps of stuff, is there a tip you'd like to share with the audience? Or you can say, no, you got to come and book in a session with me.
Yeah. No.
No, don't get anything.
Find out all of my juicy secrets. Oh, there's so many I could think of. It depends on, be social on social media. So many businesses are trying to sell. And that's like the person in the middle of your shopping center going, hey, buy this. And you're like, oh, I just want to avoid them. Social media is for being social. Your website is for selling.
Thank you for saying that. The amount of times people are like, I'm not doing well on social media. And I'm like, you're not even like engaging back with people that comment on your stuff. Like if anyone comments on anything of yours, you should be right back there, even if it's a thank you for your comment, because
make sure you do more than 5 words.
Yes, of course, more than 5 words.
And don't do Facebook's little drop down thing.
Thank you for your comment. 5 words, it's fine. So it's a thank you for your comment, because they've taken the time to at least engage. And when you're doom scrolling, to stop and go, I'm going to leave that business a comment, and then for them not to get anything back. It also they get a notification, so they'll come back to your page to see what you've written. So I think we tend to not be social on social media, as you said, and we just keep throwing stuff out, content out there, expecting people to grab onto it. And sometimes when you start social and engaging, more opportunities open up to you.
Yes.
And this is the perfect example. As I mentioned before, this is the first time meeting you and learning all about your business, but I was social on social media. I put out in the group, I'm doing this podcast. Who wants to go? You put your hand straight up, and we were like, let's schedule it in, because I was able to interact with you and have that social on social media. So thank you. Sometimes I feel like I'm waving that flag by myself. It's good to know that there's other people that are like, no, you need to do it.
It tends to be one of the first things I also look at with clients, and they're like, I don't know where I'm going wrong. I've got my Facebook, I've got my Instagram, I've got Twitter, I've got my LinkedIn account, and then I go and have a look through all of their different digital assets, but everything is either the same post. They're not thinking of their audience, of who they're trying to attract, and different mediums, different platforms have different targets and different audiences as well. So you need to really think of what platform you're using and why to spark conversation and engagement with people on social media, because that's what it is all about, not just pushing products down people's throats or pushing your services and constantly being in their faces. I love analogies. So my analogy as well for marketing is it's like dating, that you meet someone for that first date, you have a chat, you warm up to them, you talk to them, you get to know them. That's sort of through your social media, and then you go your separate ways. You might be texting each other. That's sort of like your email marketing as well, that you're sort of messaging and warming up to them, and you get to learn more about them. This is the customer and the business owner's relationship developing, and you're building your trust, you're building authenticity. You then might go on a second date where they might look at your social media page, they might go to your Facebook page, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm getting to know a bit more about this person now. And then you might go and talk to your friend, like, hey, I met this great person and blah, 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 blah. And you go talk, oh yeah, I know them. They did this and this and this. So that's your friend talking about that they've seen your Facebook page as well. And so there's another connection. And then you might go and you typically Google someone as well. So you might literally go and Google a business, and you learn more about that business through Google. So there's a whole heap of these little touch points, which is building trust, building a relationship with your customers or potential customers, which again is like dating. You don't just go jumping straight in and, well, some people do.
I was going to say, are we talking Tinder? Like, is there the swiping left and swiping right?
That's like the stopping of the scroll. Like, not interested. Oh, they've got my attention because of the way they look. Or
and you don't want to hear from their friends that they're cringy and just like, you know, flashed their products in your face the whole time. No one wants to hear that from a friend.
So again, it's building that relationship, building that engagement. That's when you will then have a deeper foundation with people and deeper trust. You've built that authenticity, and then you're like, I'm going to go buy from them. They obviously know what they're talking about. They're kind and considerate and they've ticked all the boxes. So I'm going to go with them, as opposed to this person that's been constantly going like this in my face, trying to get my attention, but I'm just not interested.
That's a good way.
That makes sense.
That's a good way to put it. And now I've got, not that I've ever used Tinder, but all I can think of is Tinder. So I hope people swipe left. Is it left or right is bad? I don't know. I hope they swipe the right way. So
like and follow.
There we go. Like and follow, even better. So if we want to stalk you as a digital, so we want to stalk you so we can check out your dating profile, Ashton, where would we stalk you?
Inspired by Ash. I think my Facebook one, though, is Inspired by Ash Marketing.
Mm-hmm.
My Instagram one is Inspired by .ash.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm also on LinkedIn. So again, I've got my different mediums and put different things on my different places depending on who I want to work with.
Fantastic. So I will pop all those links below in the show notes. But thank you so much for joining me, sharing your journey, giving us a tip, and just sharing what it's like to really be a mum in business that's going out and wanting to step past that fear and go, you know what, I'm here. I love marketing. Let's make a business of it so that I can have some financial security and freedom in my life. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for the opportunity.
No worries.